Firstly, we're going to attach the hose to the line cleaning line. Then once you've done that, then you detach all the barrels from the coupling heads and then place the coupling onto the line cleaning coupling head for each beer. And you repeat this process for every single beer. You then turn the gas off for each beer. And you ensure that every single coupling head, every single coupling line cleaning head has a coupling on it. If it doesn't, it means a barrel is still attached. Once you're happy you've done this, connect with the water. Then go upstairs and pull the water through the beer lines on both floors. You can do more than one at a time. Just don't take your eyes off them because they do fill up quite quickly because they're attached to the mains water. Some of the trays are too low to hold the 5 litre container, so you can prop them up by using other trays, as you can see in the picture. And what we're looking for is the beer to finish and then water to follow through. Once you see water, stop. There's no need to pull off any more than that. And you repeat the process for every single tap on both floors. Then you're going to turn the water tap off, so the water supply is ceased. Now what we need to do is disconnect the hose from the line cleaning line there's not a lot of pressure, as you can see. And now we're going to connect the line cleaning line to the water butt. Again, you don't need to over tighten it. Switch on your compressor. You need this to clean your beer lines. Now, depending on when you last use your water butt, do not assume that it is clean. So what you need to do is firstly turn on the outlet tap at the base of the water butt. This allows the water inside the water butt to run out onto the floor. But you can, if you want, recycle the line cleaning fluid in there. It won't be good enough to clean your beer lines, but you can use it for other jobs, like cleaning your coupling heads and maybe even using it to clean floors. Now, as you can see, the water in that water butt is quite murky. So use the hose and hose out the water butt, and over a period of time, you will actually be able to have it full of fresh, clean water, as you can see in the picture. There's a little black tap at the top of the water butt, which is out of view. You switch this on. That will allow you to fill up the water butt. Turn the outlet tap off at the base of the water butt to stop the water going out, and you need the water to go up to the line just shown by my finger. Now you're going to put beer line cleaner into the water butt. 1 pint is ample for an entire water butt. On average, you get about 10 portions out of one 5 litre container. Now, while you're waiting for the water butt to fill, because it does take a few minutes, ideally what you want to be able to do is clean the clean the cellar boys of any beer or yeast at the top of the cellar boy. It is vital that you do this process because otherwise over a period of time your cellar boys will become dirty because you're not actually cleaning that part unless you do this. So you're going to repeat this process with every single cellar boy, and whether they have the little black tap on the top that you twist or the white button that you push. So now the line cleaning line is filling up with pink beer line cleaner, and eventually it will reach the first cellar boy. Again, it doesn't happen straight away, so a little bit of patience is required. So after a period of time, you will see that it will turn pink. Now again, it might not be a clear pink because it's yet to do its job. But as you can see, it's turned colour from the one to the left. So repeat that process for every single cellar boy. Now you're in the bar upstairs. So now you want to pull the water through and then replace it with beer line cleaner. Now as you can see, the second one in the plastic containers, the water's quite yellow. So the water being in the line has already started to get rid of the yeast in the line. It's already doing a job. And that's why it becomes more effective to pour water through first and then beer line cleaner. You may find that when you reach the top bar that you've run the water butt downstairs has run out of water. And as you can see when you come back down to the cellar, you can see that some of the cellar buoys have actually emptied. So you repeat the process again. You're filling the water butt up full of water, and whilst you're waiting for that, you can repressurise the cellar buoys by twisting the little tap on the top or pushing the button down. Again, it might take a minute or so, but if you wait, you will hear the clicks become longer and longer, and as they do, the cellar buoy will fill up, and then you switch off. Once more, you repeat this process to all the cellar buoys that have emptied. If you don't fill up these cellar buoys, when you go back to the tap upstairs, you won't get any water liquid coming out. So it's vital that you do these checks. Nine times out of 10, the actual cellar buoy inside the cellar buoy chamber will actually rise to the top. But if it doesn't, then push the pin or twist the lever on below to get the cellar buoy up to the top. Again, you will get no liquid out unless you do these. Don't forget to put beer line cleaner back in, otherwise it'll be an absolute waste of time. Now we're going up to the bar. You've already pulled through all the beer line cleaner into the lines, and once you see beer line cleaner, you then stop. So once you're happy that all the lines have got beer line cleaner in, you're going to leave it for about 15 minutes. Then you're going to look at the beer line cleaner coming out of the tap. As you can see, each tap will produce a different shade of beer line cleaner. If it is a murky pink, then you know that that particular tap needs more attention. It will probably be because that particular line doesn't get used a lot, or it means that it's a slow selling line. Okay? So every 15 minutes you are now agitating the line cleaner in the line. Because if you imagine, once you've left it sit there for a little while, it is no longer fresh, clear beer line cleaner. So the best thing is to replace the beer line cleaner with fresh beer line cleaner, which you do by pulling off about a couple of pints, or about half a litre, 5 litre container full. So you're replacing it. Now again, you can see the one on the left is a different colour pink to the one on the right. And this is because of how much of the line is used. So just by looking at the colour of the line cleaner, you can actually tell how much attention each line needs. And it's vital because at the end of the day, you want to sell the best quality beer you can. So once you've repeated this process, no longer than over an hour, okay, then you're going to pull through fresh water. So to do this, you are now going to detach the line cleaning line from the water butt, sorry. If there is any pressure in the line, you can actually reduce that by just opening up one of the cellar buoys. But again, when you detach one from the other, there's not much pressure in it. And now you're going to attach the hose back to the line cleaning line. Please make sure that the grey screw is also on the hose. Be careful of these little yellow teeth. They are pretty brittle. Screw the connection back together nice and tight. If you see any cellar buoys that aren't fully full up with water, then just fill them up. Now you're ready to go back to the bar, and you're now going to pull through at least one 5 litre container from each tap. As you can see, all the shades of pink are roughly the same. So once you've pulled through 5 litres, then you're going to taste the water. First smell it, then taste it. If it tastes alright, you've got a clean beer line. So now you're back in the cellar. And now you're going to attach your barrels back to the relevant beer line. Take time over this. Do not rush it. It is vital that you attach the right beer to the right tap. Otherwise it can be costly, and if it goes unnoticed, it can cost you a lot of money. Now you're going to turn all the gases back on to pressurise the barrels before pulling the beer through. When you're pulling the beer through, it will roughly take you about 2 pints per line. After the first 2 pints of water, on the third pint you will see the water turn to beer. I would suggest it's only no more than an inch or maybe 2 inches from when you see the water turning to beer, and then you stop. Once you've pulled the beer through upstairs, go back downstairs to the cellar to see if any air pockets have been created inside the cellar buoys. If they have, fill the cellar buoys back up. Also, for the upstairs bar, which is run by this remote cooler shown in the picture, you may need to switch it off so it doesn't ice over. Water obviously freezes quicker than beer does. So switch it off up until the morning that you're going to use it, i.e. Thursday, and then plug it back in. Okay, now we're going to salt the glass washer. So take 2 pints of salt, take the overflow valve on the salt machine and put it to the top valve. Just pushes on. Now we're going to release the pressure in the salt machine. To do this, you you switch the tap to open the valve, and then, as you can see, you are undoing the top of the salt machine. Now nothing will come out unless that pipe is below the level of the valve. As you can see, the water's coming out now. Once it's started, it will continue, as it were, because it has momentum. So when it reaches near the top of the pint glass, turn the tap to the center position, like so. Now you're going to take the cap out. Inside the water softener you can see a gold resin. Do not remove this. Now you pour in the salt. As you're pouring in the second one, you will notice the water level almost reaches the rim. When you put the cap back in, it will probably overflow a little bit. You can avoid this by removing more water by opening the tap again and then switch off. Now you're going to put the cap in. Like I say, a little bit of water will be displaced, but not a lot. Now, to ensure a tight seal, when you put the bracket back on, as you're tightening up, pull upwards. This will ensure that A, there's no grit or anything in between the seal, but also that you get an airtight finish. Now you're turning the water valve open but the other way. Now you're placing the overflow pipe on the bottom valve. The next part of the procedure takes around about 20 minutes. So, to ensure that the pipe doesn't fall out all over the floor and water goes all over the floor, make sure that you trap it in some way. Underneath the glass tray is ideal. Now open the valve. The water is now travelling up the pipe, and as you will see, coming out into the sink. At first it will look clear, then it will turn murky white. This is salt. If you taste it, it will taste as if you just jumped in Brighton Sea. Then after a few more minutes it will pool clear. Once it pools clear and you smell no salt, you can actually taste it and it will taste of fresh water. That is when your glass washer is ready.